What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Happy Tuesday. And welcome back to another episode of Black Girl Interrupted. Y'all already know who it is. It's your girl, Ash. Bringing you another beautiful episode on this beautiful Tuesday. I hope everyone is having an amazing day so far. I hope everyone has had a beautiful start of the week. Can y'all believe we are like halfway through August? Like we almost done with August? Like, what the hell? Like, where does the time go? But anyone that is new to Black Girl Interrupt the podcast, before I get started, I always, it is imperative that I do my mental health check-ins. I do these simply because I want to know how you're feeling. I want to know how you're doing. As a person that has struggled with depression and anxiety for many years, it is my due diligence to make sure that you guys are doing wonderful as well. I always want to check in because I want y'all to know that you're not alone. I want you to know that you are loved. I want you to know that we see you, and we want you to stay here. We want you to be here with us. We want you to come out of the dark. We want you to be in the light with us. We want you to come and hang out with us. We want to celebrate you. We want to love on you. We want to pour into you. And most importantly, I want you to learn to love you. I want you to know that today may be a bad day. Tomorrow may be a better day. So again, that's new to Black Girl Interrupted. I always start off with something motivational, something inspirational. Oh, there's my sister. Hey, beautiful girl. Girl, why I had to run? Let me tell you. So I was supposed to start right at 8 o'clock. Girl, while I had to run to Walmart. Girl, I had to get another cable. Girl, this cable done shorted out on me. Girl, I couldn't hear nothing. Girl, I'm ready. So I had to run to Walmart really quickly and grab a cable. So the devil tried to stop me tonight, but guess what? God say, God say, hold up, wait a minute. This one is mine. This one belongs to me. But thank you for tuning in, sis. I love you. You know I love you, girl. Oh, you know where we get, girl. You know where we going, girl. We getting closer to that European tour, girl. Don't you worry about it. I told you. Okay, that's a conversation me and my sister have outside, but I just always have to love and brag on my sister because I don't know where I would be without that woman. I don't even think y'all understand, but anyway. But again, y'all, welcome back to Black Girl Interrupt the podcast. Again, anyone that is new to my show, I always love to start the show with something inspirational, something motivational, something to keep someone encouraged. Again, you never know what a person is going through, and it takes zero time away from you. It takes zero time from $0 from your income just to check in on someone, just to check in and let them know, hey, I'm thinking about you. You crossed my mind today, and I just want to tell you how much I love you. I'm thinking about you. I'm praying for you. And that I hope whatever storm it is that you're going through, that you will make it through. So before we get started with tonight's conversation, here is something just a little motivational, something just to let you know that I appreciate you and that I'm proud of you.
Haters motivate me. Because when they talking about me, that means I'm doing something.
You see, while you're over there watching me and talking about me, I'm working. I'm working hard. I'm taking things to the next level. You keep gossiping and I'll keep working. You keep talking smack and I'll keep working. You keep focusing on everything and everyone else and I'll keep working. And when you finally look around at where you are and where I'm at, you'll realize that you have nothing left to talk smack about, and you will lose and I will win.
That person who was your hater, they thought they defeated you. That person who told you you'll never amount to anything, they thought they defeated you.
Use them for fuel. Use them for energy. Put them on the mental Rolodex in your mind. And when you don't want to do roll through your brain. Pull up that motherfucker that you need. That person who said you couldn't do something. Use it for energy. Instead of killing them with kindness, torture them with success.
Oh, you're being unrealistic. You're dreaming. Yes, I am dreaming. So a lot of people have stopped dreaming. Don't you stop dreaming.
You're gonna get up, you're gonna get dressed, you're gonna get out, and you're gonna do what you've been called to do. You're gonna be what you called to do. You're gonna have, and you're gonna prove to everybody that tried to break you, you're gonna prove them wrong. Everybody that tried to stop you, everybody that tried to kill your dream, you're gonna prove all of them wrong.
When you're uncommon, get ready for the criticism.
When you're uncommon, get ready for the opposition. When you're uncommon, get ready for the common people not to understand you. When you're uncommon, have uncommon ways. Get ready for people to try and block you and conspire against you.
Never allow anybody to make you feel bad about being so blessed when you've worked your ass off to get it. You decided all the clubs, partying, hanging out, and all that that ain't for me. I'm gonna be out here running in the hot sun, practicing, playing basketball, shooting on weekends while everybody else is clubbing and hanging out. You got your focus right. You see me in my Rolls Royce, private planes, rooftop hotel, 5-6-star lifestyle. I've worked my ass off to have it, and you can keep all your little slick ass comments to yourself. Cause guess what? I don't remember the last time I lost sleep over a hater.
Shut the f***ing noise out. Embrace the fact that people don't like you. It means you're doing something right.
Develop the interior core where it doesn't matter if people call you crazy. One of the things limiting you from your income, your impact, a world-class life. You care too much about what people think about you. Everyone has an opinion. Why let the opinions of other people deny you from a life that will make history?
All right, all right. Let me tell y'all, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to encourage somebody. Another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pour into somebody. I'm going to encourage somebody because someone encouraged me. Someone has poured into me. Someone has made me feel special. Someone has made me believe that I could do anything that I put my mind to. So shout out again to all my my supporters, all my loved ones, all my haters. I appreciate y'all. You know, one thing you can't take away from is the gift that God gave to me. And that's, you know, again, one of the most beautiful things I love about having this platform is I'm able to get and I'm able to share. I'm able to love on you. I'm able to pour into you, and I receive the love and that in return. So everything that I do is never going to be in vain. So I will save, I guess, all my announcement for the end, or maybe I'll just wait and just let y'all see what is cooking in the background for Black Girl Interrupted podcast. All right. So I do want to know, how's everyone feeling? You know, I hope that video encouraged somebody. I hope that gave you the courage to get up and stop worrying about what people have to say about you, because Jesus has made a way for so many people and people still talk about Jesus. But I guess we'll have another conversation about that tomorrow for our Wellness Wednesday. But tonight, my sister says I rebuke him in the name of Jesus. I'm telling you, because baby girl, the devil really tried to play in my face, because I got on here and I'm you know, getting everything, checking the sound, and I'm like, hello, like I couldn't hear anything, so I had to run to Walmart and grab another auxiliary cable. But we good, we ready. Y'all can hear me. We live. We about to do it tonight. So tonight's conversation is a conversation that I have spoken on in the past, and I will never stop speaking about it. We see so many cases, and we see so much of this happening, and it seems to be happening more. And that's police brutality. And I want to know, when will it end? So tonight's conversation, again, I will be speaking on different cases, and will be giving my opinions on these cases, because it really ties back to the conversation we had last week about white privilege and how white privilege is really a true thing. Some may say, oh, no, it's not. Yes, it is. Because we, and when I say we, I mean all of us, have seen how you know what, let me back up. A lot of us, not just me, but you and everybody in the world, have seen the different encounters with police, with blacks versus whites. So one thing I want to say is, please don't sit up here and act like that is not a thing, because white privilege is truly a thing. Again, I went into detail last week and explained to y'all I've had white coworkers explain to me the things that they've done to get out of tickets, to get promotions at their jobs. I've heard the stories and I've seen it myself. I've seen very educated people, Black people specifically, that have the credentials to do a job that they're passed over for their white counterparts. But tonight, I'm not talking about that. I want to speak directly to police brutality. Why does this keep happening and when will it end? When I tell you I am so fatigued, you know what? I'm so tired. I'm fed up with the rhetoric of, oh, just comply, just comply, just comply, and oh, and just go deal with it in court. Philando Castillo complied and still lost his life. So stop telling us to comply because they only give us one or two choices. They either kill us or they take us to jail. We never have the same encounters that white people have with police. I have seen videos where white people have come out swinging bats, knives at police officers, and they're tased. When we know the law and we're telling it and we're conveying that to the police, where our windows are broken, we're snatched out of the car, we're slammed on the ground, we're punched in the face, we are brutalized. But you keep saying, oh, you must comply, you need to comply. When we do comply, they still figure out a way to brutalize us. So we're tired. We are fed the hell up with trying to do what's right with the law, and we still get the rough end of the short end of the stick. There's one case in particular that has come. Hey, beautiful. Hey, sis. It's so wonderful to see you. I love you and I miss you tremendously, Trisha. I hope you're having an amazing Tuesday. But there's one case in particular. There's been multiple cases. We could even go back as far as 1992 when Rodney King was brutalized and those police officers got off. But there's one case that has really my flabber has really been gassed. And that is the interaction with an 18-year-old Black female with an Arkansas state trooper who apparently had his pride tested or ego got in the way, whatever the situation was, did not warrant the type of brutality that this young lady endured. I'm going to play the video. Let me just say this. Trigger warning. Let me go ahead and post that up there. Because I don't want anyone to be triggered. Let me put this up here. So that way you'll know this is definitely a trigger warning. For those that have not seen the video. Let me take this off. Give me just a moment. All right, here we go. So, trigger warning. For those that have not seen the video, I'm only going to play it one time and one time only because it's very triggering for me. To hear this young lady, I don't care what this young lady did, it did not warrant this young lady to be brutalized the way that she was by a man that was almost twice her size. I have seen people in the comments saying, oh, well, she should have just complied. Stop telling us that. Because we've seen those situations where we have complied and what has happened. Okay? So brace yourself for this video, and then we're going to jump back into tonight's conversation.
Arkansas State Police say they're not talking about the specific allegations in the federal lawsuit. They tell me that every use of force incident is reviewed by the agency, and they say as of right now, the trooper involved has not been placed on leave.
Let me get your left hand real quick.
Sir, what did I do?
Get your left hand real quick. Do not, look, do not resist, do not resist.
I need to call Mama.
No, stop.
But I didn't even, sir, what am I doing?
use of force during this traffic stop is what prompted a federal lawsuit against Arkansas State Police Trooper Mossies Arellano, who's been with ASB for about 11 months. It was filed on behalf of the driver, 18-year-old Alisa Hackett. Late August 1st, the police dashcam video shows the trooper stopping a car with its emergency flashers on in Mississippi County near Manila, Arkansas.
What's the emergency?
My window is broke.
That's not an emergency. If you're going to speed, at least have your seatbelt on. Why do you have a Tito's bottle? You're not even 21,
I'm
are you?
coming from my grandma's house.
Have you been drinking?
No.
No. Why is it cold? Are you 21?
No, I'm 18.
Why do you have a bottle of vodka?
I didn't know it was in the car.
Several minutes later, Trooper Arellano tells Hackett she's being cited for speeding and for being a minor with alcohol. Things escalate not long after Hackett is asked to sign a temporary license.
That being said, I have to confiscate your license. It's time to slow down, okay? You're trying to go to jail, ain't you?
After talking to another officer who said he also cited Hackett for speeding, and after telling the officer that Hackett threw the clipboard at the trooper, he returns to tell Hackett she's being arrested.
Let me get your left hand real quick.
Sir, what did I do?
Get your left hand real quick. Do not look. Do not resist. Do not resist.
I need to call my mom.
No. Stop.
But I didn't. Sir, what am I doing? Oh no!
Stop.
Oh my God, this is illegal.
One
I need
resisting.
to call my mama.
I don't give a turn around. Turn around.
This is illegal.
Turn around. Turn around.
You cannot punch me.
Turn around.
I need to call my mama.
Turn around. I'll punch you again if you don't turn around.
After being checked out by paramedics, Hackett was taken to jail. According to the federal lawsuit filed in the Eastern District of Arkansas, the trooper is accused of multiple complaints, including using excessive force and violating Hackett's constitutional rights. Now, the president of the NAACP Arkansas Conference is calling for an independent investigation into what happened.
We saw the way he was talked to us. We saw when he threw it on the ground. We saw all those things, and those are very concerning to us. And if we have someone independent besides the Arkansas State Police to investigate this, so people can understand that they do trust their law enforcement or their state government to make sure we do things the proper way and the right way.
We've not yet heard back from Hackett or her attorney. The lawsuit, if successful, does not list a specific amount of money they're seeking in damages, and members of the Arkansas State Black Caucus are set to meet with the Arkansas State Police Commander at the end of the month to discuss policies and training for state troopers. In Fort Smith, Brett Rains, 4029 News.
Let me tell y'all, when I first saw this video, I just was taken aback. Because I have 3 Black children. And I worry for them. If they were to ever, my son has had an encounter with the police, and it traumatized him for many years. But then I worry about my daughters, especially my baby and my oldest daughter, who drives as well, that they would face encounters like this. You were upset because she, quote unquote, threw a clipboard at you because she didn't hand it to you. So that warranted her going to jail. You initially cited her for having a unopened, let me clarify that, an unopened bottle of liquor in the front seat. Maybe she didn't know it was in there. Maybe she didn't know. We don't know. But regardless of whatever it was, it didn't warrant you slamming this girl to the ground. You were on top of her. You punched her in the face. You told her if she did, you would punch her again. This is an 18-year-old child. A female at that. And from the looks of the video, she looked like she might have been no taller than maybe 5'2", maybe 5'3". But for you to slam this girl on the ground the way that you did, and you punched her in the face, I didn't even show y'all the other portions of the video where she said this is illegal, and he says, who said this is illegal? I didn't show y'all the clip where he was speaking to his sergeant, who said, well, if she's got an attitude, arrest her ass. Why does this keep happening? My opinion is when these lawsuits are I feel like police officers should not have immunity. I feel like they should be treated like a regular citizen, whether they have a badge or not. I feel like when these lawsuits are filed and the victims win, I feel that should come from the police officer's pension. I bet you if you start taking out of their pockets, maybe this will stop. You know what? Maybe it may not completely stop, but maybe we'll see a decrease in police brutality against Black men and Black women and Black boys and Black girls. Because we see this. I feel like officers that have had multiple complaints filed against them should not be allowed to transfer to different departments. I feel like they should not be able to be in law enforcement at all. And they shouldn't even be able to be a security guard. Because some of these officers, you take it too far with people because you have an ego problem, because maybe you were bullied as a child and now you got this badge and now you want to take your anger and your frustration out on people. And then I hear people say, oh, it's not a Black or white thing. It happens to white people. Not as much as it happens to Black people. Again, I've seen videos from the very beginning all the way to the end of encounters with white people versus Black people when it comes to law enforcement. I've seen it. I've seen white men running after police officers with knives. They're not shot. They're tased. And then you hear the police officer speaking so ever calmly to them. We're only here to try to help you, sir. Why are we not extended that same grace? Y'all let me know when you get the answer to that. Why are we not afforded that same amount of grace that you extend to the white community? That's unfair. That is absolutely unfair. Then I've heard people say, well, if you just do what they tell you to do, stop telling us that. Stop telling us that. It's like when we are pulled over and people say, well, why do you panic? Because we're traumatized. Have you seen the countless amount of videos? Have you heard the countless amount of cases of Black men and Black women and Black boys and Black girls being brutalized by law enforcement? It triggers us. We go into fight or flight mode. PTSD. And then you wonder why a lot of us say we don't respect law enforcement, because law enforcement doesn't respect us. And don't ever get it misquoted. Let me say this. This is not to all police officers, because there are good and bad police officers. We saw 5 police officers beat Tyree Nichols to death, and they were Black. The bad police officers are the ones that stand by and watch and say nothing. The ones that stand by and do nothing. That go along with whatever they see their partner doing. And then there's no repercussions. This man is not even on administrative leave. You're still allowing him to patrol the Arkansas streets. Yes, I understand. Investigations have to be done. I thoroughly understand how the law works, okay? So let me say that first. But at the end of the day, when you see the footage, they need to be immediately pulled and put on administrative leave. And I feel like it should be done with no pay. Again, if we start hitting their pockets, if we start hitting their pensions, we may see a decline in this. We may see a decline. And what frustrates me. It's always the same MO. Oh, I was in fear of my life. But you're the one with the gun. So how are you in fear of your life and you're the one with the gun? I've seen how jailers do people that have been how these officers in the county jails do people that come in that have been arrested. What warrants you to do what you do? We are tired. We are fed up. We are so tired of trying to do what's right on the side of the law, but we're still violated on the other end. And then you get upset the more we learn about the law, the more we learn about our constitutional rights and about how you can't violate this and how you can't violate that. I just saw a video today where a Caucasian man was pulled over. He immediately pulled out his camera and he gave back talk to the police officer. I don't have to show you I clocked you doing 80 miles. This is what the man that was pulled over was saying to a police officer. Do you know what would have happened to us if we would have said that to a police officer? We would have been punched in the face. We would have been snatched out the car. We would have been brutalized and then put in handcuffs. We may even have gotten a knee on the neck. But we see this all the time. And I see some of the most hateful comments under these posts. Absolutely. My sister says, because the racist ones do not see us as humans. Absolutely. They call us animals. They call us monkeys. They call us dogs. They say, oh, we belong in the jungle. We belong in cages. We hear this all the time. And then you guys try to figure out, why are we so frustrated? Why are we so irritated? Because we're tired of seeing situations like this happen. We are tired of seeing Black people treated unfairly. We are so tired of us not being extended and afforded the same grace as a white man or a white woman. I've seen, I saw a video in a lady was in the she was at the grocery store. And she cussed the police out. Oh, come on, ma'am. It's okay. Just turn around. No, you can't have your purse. Very nice to the woman. But if we ask, why are we being arrested? What did we do? It's you just turn around and shut up. And then it might be a smack in the face. It might be a slam to the ground. We don't have the right to ask. That 18-year-old young lady, she asked, what did she do? Why am I going to jail? You already gave me my citation. So now you're upset. So now your ego, your pride, because I didn't hand you the clipboard, now I'm going to jail. And then she asked, well, what did I do? And I'm trying to figure out, where did she resist? All she did was she simply turned around. If she was trying to turn around, and then what did I do? Why am I going to jail? Like, why am I being arrested? If you gave me the ticket or the citation, whatever it is, I should be free to go, right? So tell me what happened between then that warranted her to go to jail. What warranted her to be slammed on the ground? What warranted her to be pinned on the ground and punched in the face, only to be told, I will punch you again? And this is a grown man that's almost twice this baby's size. No, I'm not taking up for her. But I'm gonna always be on the side of right. And what this man did in this video was not the side of right. And then what upsets them even more is when we say, we want you call the white shirt, which is a supervisor. For those that don't know, the white shirt is a supervisor. Call your supervisor. It's disgusting to me. And what's even worse is that these police officers get no repercussions. You know what happens? They're just shifted over to another department to work and brutalize somebody else. I feel like internal affairs needs to get involved, and y'all need to prohibit these monsters, these police officers that have all these infractions on their records be allowed to transfer and go work for another department. I feel like they should be stripped of all of that and never ever be allowed to work in law enforcement. Go get your job at the grocery store. Go work at a little service station or something. But I don't feel like they should be in law enforcement. And again, this is just my opinion. I'm telling you how I feel about how law enforcement treats Black people, whether you are male or female. We see it we see how they brutalize men, and we see how they brutalize the women. We just saw right now. Then we've also seen the videos where they brutalize kids, harassing Black children for what? Tamir Rice, 12 years old, shot for playing with a toy gun, doing what children do. But you allow these school shooters to run rampant. I said it. You allow these school shooters to run rampant, and then you blame it and say, oh, it's mental illness. No, it's not. They're demonic. They're just pure evil. And we see what they did with Dylan Roof. Dylan Roof shot 9 people. He sat in church and praised and worshiped with these parishioners for what, 2 hours, I want to say? And then killed 9 of them. And he was handled with care. He was taken to go get something to eat before he was taken to jail. But then you go back and you look at the Rodney King video where he was brutalized by what, 5, 6 police officers, and they all got off. And we saw it on camera, but they still got off. So what does that tell you? You can't tell me white privilege is not a real thing. We see it every time, all the time, all day, every day. And all we are told is you should have just complied. You comply, you die. You don't comply, you die. There's no heads or tails with that. It's one way or the other. There's no in between. And this is sad. This is disgusting to me. And again, I feel like, these are my opinions. But again, I feel like we need to start hitting them in their pockets. The police officers. Why should they get immunity when they violate and commit crimes like everybody else? There's a police officer here in Houston, violated women. He was given a bond. Are you serious? This right here just proves to me law enforcement don't care about us. Again, I'm not saying all, but a majority of them, they don't care. It's a small percentage that does care. But we don't see those. Y'all keep saying, oh, just police officers are this. The ones that I've seen don't care about us. Again, I feel like the police officers that do this, you're just a big bully with a badge. Maybe you were brutalized as a child. I don't know. And maybe you're trying to get payback. Maybe a Black boy or maybe a Black girl dissed you in school. Maybe you tried to talk to her and maybe she told you she wasn't interested. So now you want to make Black people pay for it. I don't know. Again, these are just my opinions. But I'm ready to see the good cops speak up against the bad cops. I've only seen maybe a handful of cases like that. I look at Sonia Massey and the police officer that shot her. Kudos to his partner for testifying against him. That's 1 out of a million that didn't stand beside the actions that his partner committed. So I salute him. Let me give him a round of applause. I give him a round of applause for that. But we need to see more of that. We need to see more of these good cops stand up against these bad cops. When you see your partner doing something that's not in character, call for backup and say, hey, my partner out here, blah, 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 whatever. Stop trying to stand behind that badge and do what's right for the community. Because before you became a police officer, you were just a regular everyday class citizen. Middle class, upper class, lower class citizen. You were just a regular everyday smuggler. That's it. But we see this. And it's happening far too often. Every case, not every case, every day, I'm seeing cases, police brutality, teenagers being beat up, cases of mistaken identity, and all they issue to the victim is, we're sorry. Do you know what that does to their mental when they are brutalized? It messes them up. And all they get is, I'm sorry. To me, baby, I'm sorry is not good enough for me. That's not going to work for me. And then you wonder why Rodney Hinton Sr. did what he did. For some that don't remember who Rodney Hinton Sr. was, he was the man that ran over the police officer the day after the police officer shot his son. I'm not saying what he did was right, but I understand as a parent. You're called in to the police, you're called down to the police station to view the body cam footage. You're already grieving the loss of your child, already. But to see your child's last moments and for a lie to be told, that is enough to tear any parent's mental to shreds. That's enough. I'm not saying go do what Rodney Hinton Sr. did. But again, as a parent, I understand. Because I don't know how I would react if something like that were to happen to one of my children. I can't say that I would be in a good state of mind. I can't say that. He had to watch this. This man was hurt. You know what? Hurt is an understatement. We saw the case of Dante Wright, Alton Sterling, Eric Garner. So you can't tell a parent how they're supposed to feel or how their emotions are supposed to be after watching footage of their child being brutalized. I've seen the videos of people that are in a mental health crisis, and they send these police officers out there, and within 5 minutes of them being out there, the person is dead. And I've spoken about this. Patrick Warren Sr., prime example, was in a mental health crisis and ended up with 3-4 bullets to the chest. If you as a police officer are not trained to handle a mental health crisis, don't go out there. I feel like every state should have a non-emergency response team that is trained. And when I say trained, I mean specialized training to handle these mental health crises. I feel like that's what needs to happen. We saw this in San Antonio. I spoke about this. A Hispanic lady was having a meltdown. And these police officers jumped over her patio and shot her in her apartment. She was in her apartment. We see this. Some police officers come to de-escalate. Some come and already ready to heighten the situation. I'm not saying being a police officer is not a tough job, because I understand it is. Because your life is on the line every day. You get out there every day and you risk your life. And your wife, your family, your wife, your husband, they pray that you come home every night. The same way we pray for our black boys and black girls and black men and black women to come home every night. It's so sad that I have to sit down and have a discussion with my children before they leave out of the home on how to conduct themselves if they are ever pulled over by the police. I remember being pulled over I remember back in the day when you used to get pulled over, you got your little ticket and you went on home. You didn't have to worry about being brutalized. But then again, social media wasn't around then. But now, these flock it's amazing how y'all have these flock cameras and y'all can't catch this stuff. You have them deleting body cam footage because you have departments that are covering up for these police officers. And then when internal affairs gets involved and their whole operation is blown wide open, you see 20 of the police officers that have 50 infractions on their record and are still patrolling the streets. I feel like you got to cut the snake off at the head. I feel like you need to take it from the top and run it all the way through the bottom. You need to do a thorough cleansing. What happened to the police officers that really are out there to protect and serve? Where are they? But I'm glad to see these rogue police officers being exposed. I'm great. I love this. But what I would love even more is that they be held accountable for the things that they are doing to these people, for the victim, for the brutalization that they are doing to people. I saw another video of a police officer brutalizing a teenager, a woman, beating up I believe the baby was 14, 15 maybe. Let's look at that.
Begin with the new scrutiny on a violent police confrontation at Fairfield High School. So it happened during a campus fight last week, and now new video has emerged of an arrest involving the same officer. Drew Andre spoke with community members who gathered this afternoon calling for accountability.
People in the community showed up outside City Hall ahead of the council meeting tonight to make their voices heard and call for the firing of that officer in the video. Fairfield Police Department says that there is an outside organization that will independently investigate this incident. Video shows an officer on top of a student repeatedly throwing punches while holding down his head with her other hand. Students shared videos from multiple angles.
And it was the worst feeling a mother could have, seeing her son done like that.
It all happened at Fairfield High School last Wednesday. Officers responded to a fight on campus. It escalated when police said a student continued to resist arrest. Police called this a, quote, distraction strike to the student's hands. The student's stunned mom says it was unnecessary and excessive force.
She needs to get off the force. She has a pattern. It's not okay. If they don't see it, they will.
The video shared by thousands online prompted Maya Hamilton to come forward to show her own experience with the same officer.
She's pulling my hair!
This happened July 14th, 2025. This happened just last year. So she does do this. This is what she does. And what was layered was her inability to de-escalate situations.
Hamilton, just 18 at the time, was pulled over when all of this unfolded.
She loves to grab some hair.
Court documents from the 2025 incident show the teen driver's attorney has filed a motion calling the officer's actions unlawful and excessive use of force. They're asking a judge to include a record of complaints against the officer in the case. Fairfield police said they are aware of additional videos circulating online involving their officers, but wouldn't comment.
If you're that bold to do this with as many cameras that was there at a school campus to do that, someone in your department is okaying your behavior.
Last week's incident on campus is under investigation. Police Chief Dan Marshall told us in a statement, "We will carefully evaluate the totality of the investigation's findings for discipline, additional training, opportunities for improvements, or policy changes within the department. Rally organizers say this is bigger than one incident. This is about how Black youth are treated in schools across the country.
The officer has been reassigned within the department during this investigation.
And that's what I'm talking about, that right there. Is this woman has a history, but she was not removed from the force. Again, why are they allowed to continue to be on the force? If they have a history of this, I mean, I get it. There's a shortage in law enforcement. I get it. I totally get it. I live here in Houston, and they're always hiring at the Houston Police Department for police officers, for people to work in the jails. I get this. But what she did was unnecessary. What are you upset about, baby? Were you, was it that time of the month? I don't know. But how dare you brutalize this child? I remember when my son got pulled over. And they said, oh, they were looking for someone that was fighting at the movie theater. Never said who they were looking for. Never gave a description or anything. That traumatized my son. We see this far too often. Way too often. And nothing is being done about it. This is why I made the post I made on Facebook. If y'all could come in solidarity to support someone that was banned from Walmart, who I'll get into that on another day, let's stand in solidarity against police brutality, because this could be your child. This could be your loved one that this happens to. I could be sitting up telling the story of your loved one being brutalized by law enforcement. We see this, and it keeps happening over and over and over and over and over again. And like the man said in the video, some of these departments are okay with this. They will cover up for their officers. I understand you back in the blue, you got to protect your own. But when you are in a position like that, to me, you need to be on the side of right. Whether that goes against your brother in blue or your sister in blue, whatever the lingo is that they say. But we see this far too often, and nothing's ever done. Nothing's ever done. Y'all drop in the comments and let me know how do y'all feel about this? How do you feel when you see these videos? And it's not just maybe one video. These are various videos. These are multiple videos that we see. Police officers brutalizing Black men and Black women, our Black boys and Black girls, and nothing's being done. How do you feel about it? Drop in the comments and let me know how you're feeling. Because the way I feel, I'm sick every time I see this. Every time I get on social media and I see a video, what I do is, before I jump to conclusions and say, I go and I run down the rabbit hole. I go and I find the entire case. I watch the entire video or the entire encounter from start to finish. And then I decide, hey. But then a lot of times I'm like, what did he even do? There are laws to protect us, but I guess they don't apply to people of color. Because all I hear is, well, they do it to white people too. They may do it to y'all, but not as much as they do it to us. I had the stats pulled up, but I want to say it's like 48% of black people will be brutalized by police officers. Let me just verify that. Let me verify that, and I'm gonna tell you. By race, and I want to do 2026. Okay, so I gave incorrect stats. So Mapping Police Violence, which is the website, and you can go look at this yourself. Let me go back. All right. So according to Mapping Police Violence, which is a website that you can click and check on, Black Americans, we make up roughly 12 to 14% of the U.S. population, but we account for approximately 24 to 25% of individuals killed by law enforcement. Going to their website, let me see if I'm able to share, because I want y'all to see this with me as well. Because again, y'all know me. Baby, y'all can argue with me all day, but one thing you can't argue with is stats. That's one thing you just cannot do. You cannot argue with me when it comes to stats, okay? So let me share the screen. Okay, let me know if y'all can see. I hope y'all can see. But if not, it says Black people are 2.8 times more likely to be killed by police than white people in the U.S. And these are police killings per 1 million people in the U.S. And this is between 2013 and 2026. Okay? Do you hear me? So far in 2026, 790 people in the U.S. have been killed by police. Let me see if I could change. Police have killed, and I filtered it by race. Police have killed 182 Black people in the U.S. so far in 2026. So let's do the math. So if we do, let me do the math real quick for y'all. Because see me, I'm a numbers person. So if we make up, so let's see, we're in August, right? So we're in the 8th month. So if we divide, and there's 30 days, roughly 30 to 31 days in a month. So if we divide 182 divided by 30, you know what, let's just do 31. Well, you know what, let's do 30 because it's more months with 30 days instead of 31. That is approximately 6 people a month, 6 Black people a month that are murdered by police officers. 6 Black people a month. So that's roughly 1 to 2 people a week, 1 to 2 Black people a week. And it says there have been 114 days so far in 2026 when police killed Black people in the U.S. And these are killings by police in 2026. Per the website, it says police have killed 7 fewer Black people in the U.S. through July in 2026 compared to the same period in the previous year. Again, I'm with giving you facts, with stats. That's what I'm with giving. Police have killed Black people in 35 states and the District of Columbia in 2026 so far. Sad. Sad. 100 killings. Black people. Again, I'm all about bringing y'all numbers. Because again, you could argue with me all day, but I'm gonna forever give you stats. I'm gonna bring you some numbers. And then you decipher. So that way no one can say, oh, you're making this about race. This is racist. No, it's not. I'm giving you numbers. I'm giving you facts. I'm giving you the statistics on the number of Black people that have been killed in the United States. And that's through up until July. Let's revisit this next month and see what it is for August. But we see this. And you mean to tell me you're not upset? You're not fatigued by this? Do you feel like these police officers shouldn't be reprimanded? We see this. We see this. But I see more people that, oh, you want to make it about race. I'm about facts. I'm telling you the facts. So stop saying, oh, well, white people get killed too, but not at the alarming rates that black people are when it comes to police brutality. We see it. It's been happening since the 60s. That was only 30 years ago. You know what, the 60s. Let me do the math, y'all. Y'all know my math is off. Let me give y'all the math. Let me see. So we're in 2026. That was only, my bad, y'all, 66 years ago. 66 years ago. Yeah. 66 years ago. From now until the 60s. I mean, from 1960 to 2026. 66 years. And it's still happening. And all they're getting is a slap on the wrist. And just shuffled along to a different city, a different county. They have their records sealed, closed, that can't nobody find. But then you have some people that do their due diligence and pull the paperwork on them and say, hey, this person has 12 infractions from this county. This person has 15 infractions from this county. So all you do, you just shuffle them on like paper. You just say, oh, okay, yeah, well, just don't do it over here. We're going to send you over there. Instead of holding their feet to the fire. Make this make sense. Make this make sense. Because again, I when I see these videos, when I hear these stories, when I go read these stories, when I go and I do, again, my due diligence, I'm disgusted. I'm absolutely disgusted to see this happening. And then what's even more hurtful and almost like a gut punch to the face is there's no accountability. They're given a slap on the wrist. No jail time, nothing. Charges dismissed because the department finds that they were well within their excessive force policy. So you mean to tell me that it's okay for a man that's 3-4 times a young lady's size, it's okay for her to be slammed to the ground and punched in the face? It's okay. All because your ego was hurt. All because she didn't hand you your clipboard like a good old girl. Sick. Sick. And we're seeing, and the sad part of all of this, we're seeing more women brutalizing people. You saw the video where that female police officer was on top of that boy, beating him in the face, pulling his hair. And to know that she has a history of this and nothing has been done other than she's been moved to a different department within the force, no, she needs. To me, I feel like they should not be moved to another department. They need to be on leave without pay, administrative leave without pay. But again, they shuffle them along like paper with no accountability. And we're left to deal with the remnants of being brutalized. That's what we're left to deal with. This is part of the reason why we fear law enforcement. This is part of the reason why when they pull up and they say, oh, why are you so nervous? Because we've seen what you've done to us. We see what you continue to do to us. So we're supposed to be okay. So when you pull us over, we're not supposed to get nervous. We're not supposed to get anxious. Because see, when you pull us over and you roll the window down, what are you so nervous about? You have drugs in the car? What? Because we're traumatized. Because we are suffering from PTSD from the things that police have done to us. And then we're even more traumatized because nothing is being done about it. We are more traumatized because they're not held accountable for their actions. We're even more traumatized because guess what? You're taken from this department and then you move them to another one to go and do it to somebody else. That's what we're traumatized about. That's why when we get pulled over, we're shaking, we're nervous, we're sweating. Because we don't know if we're going home or if we're going to the cemetery. We don't know. And then they say, oh, you always get a police attitude. I know darn well y'all cannot talk about somebody giving attitude to the police. And the many times that I have seen white people go off on a police officer, you done cussed them out, you done talked about their mama, their daddy, their children. But we're not afforded the same grace when we're asking questions. We're told, just do what I tell you to do, boy, or do what I tell you to do, girl. We're not even treated humanely. We are treated like animals. We are treated like dogs, and y'all expect us to be okay with that. No, we're not okay, period. And I'll never be okay with that. I will never be okay with watching my brothers and my sisters be brutally victimized by law enforcement. I will never be okay by the good cops that don't speak out against these rogue police officers. I will never be okay with that. And I'm going to be the first to tell y'all, I have no trust in law enforcement. I have no trust. I've been harassed by the Louisiana State Police. I remember I was coming from Atlanta, driving to Houston with a trunk full of dirty clothes. At the time, I had 2 parakeets, and then, of course, my clothes, that I was going to be wearing while I was in Houston. I remember being pulled over for speeding. I remember being held on the side of the road for 45 minutes because you wanted to search my vehicle because you thought I was trafficking, but you smelled nothing. By the time I made it to Baton Rouge, I had peed on myself because I was just that traumatized that you had me standing on the side of the interstate for 45 minutes for what? And I was afraid because I thought about what happened to Sandra Bland. So I did exactly what the police officer told me to do. Everybody was like, well, Ashley, why'd you do it? He could have planted something on you because I was trying to make it to my children. Okay? And then I was given a ticket. Yes, was I speeding? I own that. But everything else after that was not even warranted. You held me on the side of the road for 45 minutes on I-10 as I was getting ready to go across Lake Pontchartrain. But I'm supposed to be okay with that. I'm supposed to be cool with that. So now you can understand why I don't trust law enforcement. The same thing happened to my son. My son was traumatized by the police because they pulled him over while him and my sister were coming from the movies because they say they were looking for somebody that was involved in a fight at the movie theater. Never gave a description of who they were looking for. It took my son 2 years, almost 3, before he got behind the wheel of another car and drove. I tell my son every night when he goes out, even when he goes to work, when he comes home, when he goes to hang out with his friends, I tell my son all the time, please be careful. I pray over my son every time he walks out that door. I pray and I ask God, bring my son home to me. Bring my daughters home to me when they leave and they go out with their friends. I have to have a conversation with them. You don't think as a parent that is not disheartening? Because see, you white people, y'all don't have to do all of that. Because y'all have the privilege. You understand? Y'all can cuss the police officer out. You can talk about his mama, his dad, baby. Y'all talks about him all the way down to the dog. And all they're told is, just make it home safe, sir. Just make it home safe, ma'am. They're given a ticket and go. But us, our windows are broken, tail lights broken, windows smashed, snatched out of the car, treated like we're animals. But y'all want us to be okay with that. Y'all want us to be cool with that. Hey, cousin. My cousin Kim says, of course it's not okay. The world has become so disgusting and the police officers need mental health examinations and services. Absolutely. She says, none at all. No accountability at all. I am so traumatized by being pulled over that I'm driving to a well-lit area before I stop. And you know what? Even that's scary. Because you know the first thing that they're going to say is, once you get somewhere and you stop and you pull over, why didn't you pull over? Why didn't you stop back there? I've been following you for 5 minutes. They come to the car with an attitude. If you see that I'm a woman in a car by myself, you expect me to stop down a dark road? Are you serious? I'm going to keep driving until I find somewhere that's well lit, somewhere that I feel safe. Because what you're not going to do, you're not going to get the opportunity to snatch me out of the car and take me off somewhere and potentially violate me or maybe even kill me. You're not going to get that opportunity. And that's the sad part about all of that. Is I've seen cases where people have said, oh, why didn't you pull over? Then more charges up because they consider that evading. I've seen that. But then they say, oh, well, if you're pulled over down a dark road, just keep driving and then call 911 and let them know. I've even seen cases where some of them are not even real police pulling people over. But again, looking at going back to 1992 when Rodney King was violently brutalized by 5, 6 police officers, and it was caught on camera, and to see them all get off, we are all traumatized. And then we see what has happened in current time. Tyree Nichols. And he was done like this by 5 black men. We saw this with Tamir Rice. We saw this with Oscar Grant, Alton Sterling. Heck, we saw it with Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman wasn't even he wanted to be a police officer. We see this. But I want to show y'all something else. And this time it was a woman that was violated by another woman. And this young lady was pregnant. Here we go as we get ready to round and bring the show to an end tonight.
She says she was 9 months pregnant when a Buckeye police officer allegedly assaulted her while she was in handcuffs. I'm ABC 15 investigator Nicole Grigg. We were the first to show you that video that has led to that officer resigning and now headed to trial. And now we have more video of what led up to all of this.
Over here.
That's Buckeye police officer Carrie Carrico as she was processing this woman inside the Buckeye Police Department.
Do you understand me? You are here because you're an ass. Knock it off.
We're editing together these 2 videos to sync the surveillance video to the audio of this officer's body camera video. This video provided by Buckeye PD shows the officer's arm swinging towards the woman's head. She was later taken to the hospital for a contusion and possible concussion. The officer's boss calling the encounters very aggressive and described them as definitely over the top and unnecessary. But new video now shows how all of this started as a woman was pulled over for reckless driving.
Is there any reason why you're going nearly 70 miles an hour down your road?
No.
No reason at all. Okay, do you have your registration and insurance? Is there any reason why you don't have a seatbelt on?
I do actually.
You don't, actually. You see how this is here? So it's not worn properly, so no, it wasn't on.
Now watch the next 22 seconds.
Well, this isn't my car.
Okay, you're driving it. Is there a reason for the attitude?
Yeah, because you have one.
Okay. Go ahead and step on out.
Nah,
Nope, you can stay there. Face the car. Right over here. Put your hands behind your back.
Then listen as Officer Carrico goes to detain her.
You can leave my sleeve like that.
No, I'm not going to leave your sleeve like that. When you become a cop, you can tell me how to do my job. Until then, you can be quiet. Let's go sit in the car.
An internal review of this encounter says when Officer Carrico did a pat-down search, she ran her hand along the woman's front waistline.
Excuse me? I'm opening the door. How do you expect to get in a car with the door closed, genius? Ugh. You're right. You're gross. Go ahead and step on in. Yes, you are. You and your attitude stink.
In the cop's own words, says the woman's attitude was what would take her to jail.
So you taking her to jail? Taking her to the station. If she changes her attitude when we get to the station, then she won't go to jail. If she acts the way she's been acting, she will go to jail.
And back to that exchange about a seatbelt. That pregnant woman telling the officer she was wearing one, but her pregnant belly was too big, so she put the strap behind her instead of across her chest. Then as Officer Carrico goes to take her to jail, the pregnant woman asks about where her seatbelt is.
No, I don't have a seatbelt, so what you gonna do about that?
Well, you're used to not wearing a seatbelt, right?
The officer drives off and then you don't see it on video, but the internal report reveals that during transport, the vehicle appears to turn left, strike a curb or object, and that Officer Carrico didn't stop to secure a seatbelt on her. Carrico pleaded not guilty to aggravated assault in this case and another. Her trial is scheduled for November. She is no longer with the police department, but her attorney tells us this week that they have no comment at this time. I'm investigator Nicole Grigg, ABC 15, Arizona.
Let that sink in for just a moment. But shout out to Arizona Police Department for taking swift action against this woman and standing on the side of right. Let's give them a round of applause. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Let's give them a round of applause for taking swift justice. Because again, this is not the first case with this police officer. But again, we're seeing this more and more and more and more and more and more and more. But less action being done, less action being taken, less accountability placed on the shoulders of these police officers. Because what you did to this woman was just pure disgusting. You physically saw that this woman was pregnant. Do y'all know how let me tell you, I've been pregnant 4 times. Do y'all understand how difficult it is when you are 8, 9 months pregnant to put that seatbelt across your waist? That's hard. Then you said you don't like her attitude. So again, here comes this ego with these officers because the people are not, oh yes ma'am, no ma'am, because they're not bowing down to you. It's an attitude. People say, oh, well, we need to quit matching energy with the police. Then they need to stop coming to us heightened. They already come ready to escalate a situation. Aren't y'all taught when y'all go to training? Aren't y'all taught how to de-escalate situations? Aren't y'all taught to try to calm a situation down? But a lot of y'all come in and y'all crank it up. And I don't think we intentionally have attitude. I think what it is, we're frustrated. We're over it. We're frustrated. I believe, and again, these are only my opinions, but I feel like that's what it is. I feel like we are so over it. We are so fatigued. We are just exhausted of the mistreatment that we receive at the hands of law enforcement. We're tired. We are over it. We are done. I believe we have just mentally checked out on anything pertaining to law enforcement. I think at this point, we're just like, you know what, whatever, write the ticket, whatever. We're just trying to go home. We're just trying to make it to wherever it is we're trying to go. I believe that a lot of that comes from frustration. Again, I believe a lot of that comes from because exhaustion, because we are tired. We are fed up that these police officers are not reprimanded in the most positive way that they should be. Again, these are my opinions. But I do feel like when law enforcement is sued, when they file these civil suits against these police officers, I believe when the victims win, that the earnings or the whatever the payout is should come from the police officer's pension. I don't care if you've been on the force for 1 year. I don't care if you've been on the force for 20 years. I feel like it should come from your pension. And then again, maybe this will stop. Maybe not completely stop, but I believe we will see a decline in these cases. I feel like these departments, you need to hold your officers accountable. I feel like you law enforcement, you need to stand on the side of right. Because again, you were once a civilian before you got that badge. And that badge is not a pass for you to brutalize Black and brown people. When I tell y'all, I'm so proud of myself. I got through another episode with no tears. But let me give you my final thoughts as we round out the end of this show. Police brutality is a real thing. We have seen it happen since way back when. The only reason we're seeing it more is because social media is now prevalent. Everyone has a cell phone. Everyone is recording. Everyone is uploading it to their pages. And the sad part about all of this is even with footage, police officers are still getting off. Police officers are still being told they were well within the excessive force policy that's implemented. But what about the victims who are left traumatized? Who are left with the scars of the brutalization? What about the families who've lost loved ones to the hands of law enforcement? They're left to deal with the pain. They're left to pick up the pieces and carry on as if this never happened. We have our Sonya Massies, our Sandra Blands, our Tatiana Jeffersons, our Philando Castillos, our Tamir Rices, our Eric Garners, our Alton Sterlings. You tell me, what can we do? So I ask every last one of y'all, if you could stand in solidarity for these social media influencers that get banned from Walmart or whatever the situation is, I believe we need to stand in solidarity against police brutality. I don't think y'all understand how strong we are in numbers. Let's start standing for things that make sense. Okay? And I'm going to leave it at that. Ooh, we had another good show tonight. Another amazing show. But as we bring this episode to a close, I just wanted to share some of my accomplishments. I posted last week. This is the second year that I entered into the Women Who Podcast contest for having the best podcast, depending on the category. And I'm so grateful to announce here's my second award. That's the second for, again, 2 years in a row. Here's my first one. So yes, your girl is doing beautiful, amazing things with Black Girl Interrupted. But I want to say that I could not do this without y'all. I know I say this on every episode, but I want y'all to know that I'm so humbled and that I'm so grateful for the love and support that you guys continue to show me each and every episode. I love that I am now taking the time to give you quality content and not just worry about the quantity. So many beautiful things and amazing things are now moving in my favor, and I am forever grateful. And I want y'all to know that I am humbled that the love that y'all pour into me. I'm grateful that y'all continue to stand and walk with me on this journey, because it has not always been easy. I've had moments where I wanted to throw in a towel. There were moments where I walked away. There were moments where I dealt with things mentally. There were things that I dealt with emotionally, things that I'm dealing with physically. But I told y'all I'm committed to showing up not just for me, but for y'all. So again, I want to say thank y'all for the continuous love and the support that y'all give to Black Girl Interrupted podcast. My goal is to continue bringing you beautiful yet meaning and thought-provoking conversations. I'm not going to get emotional because I just, I'm grateful. I love where I am. I love where God is taking me. And I just cannot wait to see where we go from here. My sister says, let's get it, sis. You better know it. I told you. I told you earlier. We're getting closer to that destination. But I do want to share one more thing with you that I got from the creator of the Women Who Podcast. Oh, let me pull this out. It says, congrats. And they go on to tell me, congratulations in receiving a Women Who Podcast award in the Repping the Southwest category. So I won for Repping the Southwest. Hey, let's go. Thank you for being you and always getting behind the microphone. You are truly making a difference. Take care. It's things like that that force me to keep going. It's things like that that make me proud to do exactly what it is that I do. And with y'all standing behind me, you know what? Nope. With y'all standing beside me, with y'all loving on me, with y'all pouring into me, it makes me strive even harder to go hard, not just for me, but for y'all, but for us, and for the people that look like us. So tomorrow night will not be a long episode. Y'all know it is Wellness Wednesday. Y'all know I do my Wellness Wednesdays once a month. So tomorrow night we're doing our Wellness Wednesday. 8 o'clock we will start. For those that do not know what I do on Wellness Wednesday is I just want y'all to bring your things to the table and let's unpack them. Let's talk about them. Let's make sure that you guys are in a beautiful mental space as we walk into the remainder of the week. Wellness Wednesday is a time where we just love on each other, where we just pour into each other, where we take the time to just encourage someone. So if you are struggling or if you know anyone that's struggling, tell them to come on, like, share, comment, subscribe to Black Girl Interrupted podcast. I am available. I stream on all streaming platforms. I stream live every Tuesday, every Wednesday to Facebook as well as YouTube. Anyone that is let me say this. Anyone that is looking to be a guest on Black Girl Interrupted podcast, please, please, please send me an email. To the email at the bottom of your screen, blackgirlinterruptedpodcast@gmail.com. Because for the entire month of September, I'm spotlighting all entrepreneurs, small business owners. This is your time to shine, baby. This is your time to get your business in front of people that don't know anything about you, whether you're near, whether you're far. I want the people to know who you are. I may not have a big following, but hey, someone may come across my video and be like, oh, okay, I want to check in with her. I want to check in with him. So again, if you're looking to be a guest, again, this is for the entire month of September. Please send me an email to blackgirlinterruptedpodcast@gmail.com. Come on and let's put your business in front of the people. Let's let the people know who you are. Come on now, y'all. You know it is your time to shine. So on that note, I want to say I love y'all. Again, thank y'all for tuning in to another beautiful episode of Black Girl Interrupted podcast. Again, tomorrow night we will do our Wellness Wednesdays. So pull up, hang out with your girl for a little while, and let's love, let's celebrate. I want to know what your accomplishments have been thus far for the month. Again, salute to all the children that have gone back to school. I'm wishing your children a successful school year. But on my end, unfortunately, my daughter tested positive for COVID on Saturday, and school has only been back in a week today. So go figure. But on that note, I love y'all. God bless you. I will see y'all tomorrow night for our Wellness Wednesday. Holla at y'all. Good night.